Hello everyone, this is another edition on my channel. Sorry it's been a long time since I posted a video. I don't really have any content prepared. This video is just solely on my thoughts on the game tonight, February 24th, 2026 against Medicine Hat Tigers. What can I say really? Coming into the game, it was a 2-game losing streak for the team, having dropped a 6-3 decision on Friday night in Regina, and then a 8-4, yes, you heard that right, 8-4 decision on Saturday in Brandon. So, from the travel day to tonight, the team had a couple of days off for practice and what have you, and coming into the game tonight, it was the 7th of 8 meetings between the Medicine Hat Tigers and the Edmonton Oil Kings. Coming in, it was 3-2 and 3-2-0-1 record for both teams, having a shootout win each. Extremely tight series. Medicine Hat had a 9-point advantage in the standings coming into tonight, so realistically, on paper, this was a critical game for the Oil Kings tonight. Now, starting the game, it was pretty decent. Edmonton jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first period, and then Medicine Hat got a really cheap, and I'm going to say a really cheap penalty call, power play. There was a lot of calls on both sides that were missed that should have been called that weren't. But hey, I guess that's what happens when you have one of the worst referees in the WHL refereeing a very, very critical game between two division rivals going head-to-head for the division title. Again, it was a cheap penalty against Edmonton. Didn't take Medicine Hat long, really, to score. I think 3 to 5 seconds into the power play, they scored a goal to make it 2-1. But I liked the response of Edmonton after that first goal. It was good. They pushed back a little bit. They had a couple of good shifts after that goal to kind of get back into the game and not let that goal get to them. Like I've seen in the past where if Edmonton gives up a goal and they're playing really good, they get deflated and then the wheels start to fall off and then they just crap out for the rest of the game. That wasn't the case on this first goal. Edmonton had a good couple of shifts after in response. They kept the pedal to the metal, so to speak. Overall, pretty solid first period, I would say. 2-1. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Edmonton did have chances to extend that lead, but unfortunately they couldn't get it done. Now, what's kind of interesting is where this game kind of turns a little bit. In the second period, it was 2-1 for the Oil Kings going into the second, and then pretty wide open, entertaining. As a fan, it was a very entertaining second period. As a coach, probably not. Each team ended up scoring 4 goals in that second period. Edmonton ended up taking a 6-5 lead into the third period, so already giving up 5 goals after 40 minutes. Defensively is probably not good considering what happened over the weekend on the road. You kind of probably didn't want to give up that many goals. But hey, if you have the lead going into the third period, then it should be fine. But what was really surprising is the fact there was still only one penalty called the entire game up until that point. Like Medicine Hat had one power play in the first. I don't believe there was a penalty called in the second. I might be wrong on that. I believe there may have been one power play for Medicine Hat. But anyway, Medicine Hat's power play was good. They got 3 goals on their power play. Really not the difference considering they scored 10. At the end of the game, it was a 10-6 win for Medicine Hat, which is kind of baffling to me because, coming into the game, you would think the Oil Kings would give a shit more. Considering this was a divisional game. It's a 7th game of 8 against your division rival. A game that really they have to win if they have any chance to overtake Medicine Hat for the division title. So it was a big game for Edmonton, and quite honestly, they shit the bed. Quite frankly, they were not good in the second and third period. They gave up 9 goals in those 2 periods. Didn't even score a goal in the third period. Didn't even get a power play in the game, which is kind of shocking to me considering there was a lot of chippiness and penalties that should have been called both ways. I just think the stupidest penalty in the game, to be honest, is a delay of game when the puck goes over the glass. I think that's the stupidest penalty that they invented in the game of hockey. It's ridiculous. It slows the game down. Quite frankly, you want to enjoy the game as a fan, but when you're there and they call stupid penalties like that and they make these dumbass rules where icings or the linesmen do face-off infractions, it's kind of annoying because you're there to enjoy the game as a fan, but the referees sometimes get too involved in the game and they slow the game down, and yeah, it just pisses me off. It's just an annoying thing. Little rant there, but yeah, again, Edmonton was dreadful in the game tonight. They first period was good, but then after that it just fell apart. Their goaltending was crap. I don't know what's gotten into Simcoe and Snell over the last 3 games, but both goaltenders have been absolutely awful. 24 goals against in 3 games. It's shocking. Quite frankly, shocking. Their structure has not been there. Last year they had 78 points and 37 wins, and quite frankly, they're probably going to be lucky to hit 40 wins now, considering the way that the season has gone these last 3 games. It almost feels like since that win against Calgary on home ice to clinch a playoff spot, it feels like since that game, the Oil Kings have not given a shit. They haven't played good in any game since then, really. It seems like that since they've clinched a playoff spot, they just don't care. They want to go into the playoffs, not worry about the rest of the schedule. That's what it looks like from an outsider. It looks like a team that says, oh, we're in the playoffs, we've accomplished our goal that we wanted to set out in the season, which is fine, but come on, let's win some games here. We still got 10 or 11 games left in the regular season down the stretch here. Gonna be lucky to win some games and get to 40. We only need 4 wins out of those 11 to get to 40. But the way that our team's playing, we'll be lucky if we even win 1, to be honest. Yeah, it's just, again, these are just my thoughts, and what I've seen over the last 3 games is abysmal. The team is absolutely awful in every which way. Their goaltending sucks. Their special teams are awful. Penalty killing especially is really, really crippled the team. Tonight, 3 goals against on the penalty kill. Didn't even get a power play, so I can't really say much about that. Brandon, again, I think they got, on Saturday night, I think they got 3 power play goals again against Edmonton. So 6 goals against on the penalty kill in 2 games is absolutely atrocious. It's going to be the Achilles heel of this team probably going into the playoffs. Quite frankly, the way that we've been playing, we'll be lucky if we finish in the top 3 in the Eastern Conference, because Calgary's hot on our heels now. They have 74 points. They're only 3 points back at the Oil Kings for that 3rd seed. Edmonton would still get home ice if they finish in the top 4, but Brandon is starting to get a little bit hot. Calgary's red hot. Obviously, Medicine Hat is hot. Prince Albert, nobody's going to catch them. And then there's Edmonton. They're kind of been up and down over the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this 3 games and 3 nights over this weekend hits. Realistically, on paper, Edmonton should win all 3 games. They have Red Deer on Friday night. They have Lethbridge on Saturday night at Rogers Place. And then they have the dreadful Swift Current Broncos on Sunday. Like I said, on paper, those are the bottom 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. So Edmonton should win those. Let's hope. But then again, I said they should beat Regina Pats on Friday night when they are the 7th seed and like 30-some points behind the Oil Kings. And look what happened there. We lost that game 6-3. So don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, this is just my thoughts on how the team has played. I hope that the coaches and the players get their shit together, quite frankly, and start playing like they care. Start playing like they want it, because if they play like this going into the playoffs, it's going to be a clean 4-game sweep and they're done. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. 8 games to go after the weekend, because they have 3 games and 3 nights. So yeah, they'll have 8 games left down the stretch. So again, Friday night in Red Deer, on paper, that should be a win. Lethbridge on Saturday, that should be a win. Sunday against Swift Current, that should be a win. Snap this losing streak. Not only do we need to snap the losing streak that we've been on, the 3-game losing streak, but we need to keep the puck out of the damn net. 24 goals against in 3 games is just not good. Special teams, penalty killing is going to kill us. Our goaltending especially has to be really good. It's not been good. Snella and Simcoe have made big saves. Yes, I will say that. But at the end of the day, they're still giving up a lot of goals. And that's not just on them. That's on the whole team, defensively, offensively, special teams, coaching. It's everybody. But the goaltender has to be the first line of defense, obviously, and keep the puck out. And it's not been good. I heard some boo birds come out today at the game. That should be a sign. And this is my sign to the team. Wake up. Wake up. Get your shit together. Start playing the game. Start playing defensive. Start playing structurally sound like the coach wants you to play. And play like you care and give a damn, because the last 3 games you haven't. That is my challenge. That is my call out to the team. give a shit. Give us something to get excited about going into the playoffs. That's going to be all for this video. I hope it reaches the right people to get this team back on track. I'll catch you on the next one.